Khairuddin Duskatov, also known as Abdullah, is a 38-year-old Muslim Tajik living in Moscow with Russian citizenship. Duskatov is retained since December 2019, alleged to spread extremist ideas. Charges on Duskatov are under Criminal Code Article 3071, Public Calls for Extremist Activities, and Article 3072, Organization of an Extremist Association. Tajik authorities detained Duskatov on December 2019 at Dushanbe airport right after his flight from Moscow landed. He traveled back to Tajikistan with his two young nephews to visit his friends and family. The detention took place right after leaving the plane. When authorities arrested him, he gave no information to his family about his whereabouts. A couple of days after, the Interior Minister announced to a newspaper the intention of the detention was just to talk with him for a clarification about the information they had on him about spreading extremism ideas. Later, the authorities declared to have 2 months to refer the case to court. Back when Duskatov lived in Moscow, his job was to warn and counsel Tajik migrants about the dangers and consequences to get involved in the conflicts in Iraq and Syria. He previously received death threats on himself and his family members if he continued with the task. Afraid to travel back home in case to receive more attacks, the fact that he studied in an Iranian university in times of tense Tajik-Iranian relations make him decide to postpone any return to Tajikistan until 2019. In early 2019, before his detention, Duskatov visited Tajikistan and got stopped and questioned about religious beliefs, especially about his relation with Shia tendencies and practices and sharing them with other people. Relatives claimed the victim's innocence and assured the authorities tortured Khairuddin to obtain a personal statement incriminating himself. His physical appearance has deteriorated progressively. Relatives told Forum 18 that his face and body swollen and he does not look like himself. He lost his consciousness several times and has been tortured with electric shocks. The location of the prison where he is detained is unknown. His family was attacked and questioned after. His wife told Forum 18 that authorities raided his parents' home, looking for signs of Shia extremism. Around 100 books disappeared, all registered and produced by Russian Islamic publishing houses. None of the books incited violence or insults. Some criticized other Islamic movements, and others the motivations for tensions between two Islamic ranks. Right after, the relatives got questioned about their Shia beliefs and their Shia religious practices. There's not much information about the case and whether if the authorities brought the case to court. Investigators and workers from the Interior Ministry make contradictory declarations on newspapers or deny speaking to anyone. Most of the information comes from first-hand declarations from his wife and relatives, who as well have scarce information about this post-trial. Thanks to them, though, we know about the conditions of the prisoner. Khairuddin suffers from physical torture, relative harassment, and lack of a fair trial process.